Way down. I'm gonna give you my love. I'm gonna give you everything. Darling, woman, you need.
This disclaimer is a statement notifying listening audiences that any opinions expressed on our shows are not representative of Laguna Radio Inc., its management, or its board of directors.
Hey there, what's up, Laguna? Janice Murray here with news. City Council has just unanimously voted to allow the Rivian South Coast Theater 3 parking spots, waiving fees in the amount of $69,000 near the theater and on the condition the owner obtains a coastal development permit. This further enhances Rivian's relationship with the city. Last year, the council unanimously approved an economic incentive agreement with Rivian, where revenues generated under a tax-sharing agreement would go into a special account for greenhouse gas reduction. Previously, the council had approved sales of Rivian electric vehicles at 224 and 226 Ocean Avenue, near the theater across the street from Main Beach. And I'm Janice Murray for news on 104.7 KXFM. And now, here's Dave.
Well, as we all know, we are into the month of November. Happy Sunday, Janice. And we've got a good-looking day for the most part, but we are in this marine layer pattern now that we're going to be used to here for probably the next several months. It will vary from time to time, but obviously we start with the morning clouds, and then that gives way to lots of glorious sunshine for the afternoon with very pleasant temperatures. So on this Sunday, morning clouds give way to sunshine. It's a nice day. It's a degree or two warmer than yesterday. The beach 71, 73 in the hilltop, the canyon 71 degrees. Tonight, some clouds around 58. Monday, do it again. Morning clouds, then sunny and 72 degrees. Don't forget, with that time change, the sunset today is at 4:57. That's my forecast. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray. Tune in, turn on to KXFM 104.7, Laguna's Community Radio.
My name's Luella Aarons, and you can catch my show Dream Gaze Overtone Friday nights, 5 to 7. We'll be grooving together to sounds of the underground, tunes with general behind-the-times beat, and heavy doses of reverb-laden ambiance. Dream Gaze Overtone Friday nights, 5 to 7 on 104.7 KXFM Laguna Beach.
KXRN LP, Laguna Niguel, Laguna Beach. KXFM on 104.7, KXFMradio.org.
We are dreams that you dream of Once in a love divine, your time over me, oh, you let you dream of dream true. Someday when she falls down, the love's of behind. No time over me, oh, over life.
Oh, good morning, Laguna Beach. This is Craig and Rainbow Radio. Here we are, the first Sunday of daylight savings time, and I have to say, I hate it. Already, I hate it. I don't like it. Well, it starts getting dark around 5 o'clock. Then we change the time so it gets dark around 4 o'clock. You know, I love the sunshine in the evening. Now, I have, you know, maybe this is an example of why we can't get a consensus on anything these days, it seems, including daylight savings time. But I much prefer more sunlight in the evening. I know there's people that don't like it when it's dark when they get up, and but I think the multitudes of people like the more of the you know, the evening. It's just so much motivating to go out and do something instead of stay home and burn the night away and waste. I don't know. But anyway, that's just me. Anyway, it's welcome to daylight savings time. Yes. So what's happening? I got to go on. As far as LGBTQ and Laguna Beach Pride, we do have a Christmas party coming up, and we do have people making donations already for the grand prize. I know the Royal Hawaiian gave us a couple of gift cards, a couple $100 there, and we dearly appreciate that. And it will be at Mozambique, and it's on the 14th of December, which is a Sunday, and that's from 11 to 2 p.m., 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Dora will be there entertaining and singing and entertaining the troops, as they say. And I know the last time we did, and the 1st of June, we sold out. So it's a good time to make your reservation. To do that, you call Mozambique directly. I don't have the phone number on hand at the moment, but you call Mozambique directly and make a reservation. Make sure you tell them it's for the brunch bingo on the 14th of December, which should be a lot of fun. This is a charity fundraiser, and the funds will go to our favorite, well, one of our favorite, I shouldn't say it's our favorite, but one of our favorite charities, which happens to be the Pantry, Laguna Pantry. And as we know, especially this time of year, some of the food banks are running low on food for various reasons, which I won't go into too much right now. But anyway, just recognize that not everyone can have a fat turkey on their table. Maybe they would just love a ham sandwich, anything. And that's what the pantry does. So the proceeds for this charity fundraiser will go to our friends, all our dear friends at the food pantry. And I have to thank again the support of the Royal Hawaiian with their gifts and their other businesses and local individuals giving prizes for the drag bingo. So how it works is we get a number of donations, and we have a drag bingo, and we do charge for the bingo. So that money is we're 501c3. It's totally deductible, tax deductible as a charitable donation. And when you win a bingo game, you will you're up to win a gift card or say it's from a flower shop, flowers for the next 20 years or something. Maybe not quite that long. But anyway, you catch my drift. There's a lot of retail outlets here and businesses that love to support the community, and it's a wonderful way for them to give back to the community that supports them. So that's my deal. Now, that's the event that's coming on December 17th. Now, right here on Rainbow Radio, a week from today, I have a local guest who has written a book. And what is the name of that book again? It's the London Year. The book he wrote is set in the early 1970s. A 23-year-old American, Terry Gaines, arrives unexpectedly in London. It was not part of life's plan. Knowing no one, he soon meets two older gay American expats, Carlos and Bert, who have a room to rent along with an instant social life. Well, did he luck out? Their Earl's Court basement flat is conveniently located near London's legendary gay pub, the Colquhoun. And below the ground, below ground disco, the Catacombs, just around the corner from this legendary men's room, both historically real places. So that's the story. That sounds interesting and juicy. And who is writing that? The author's name is Stephen Jerome. He has always had three creative callings. He was a Hollywood Society photographer in the late 80s and early 90s, so I'm sure there's a lot of stories. Now, he's going to be my guest this next Sunday, so I'm telling you all about this. He is an accomplished pianist and composer. Maybe we set up the keyboard. And now his third published novel, The London Year, has just been released by the UK publisher Spectrum Books. So again, that will be a week from today. He'll be live here in the studio. So if you are so inclined, you can join us on Zoom. If you're not up for Zooming, then you can just listen live. But we do this on Zoom. Actually, even right now, it's on Zoom. You can join me if you want. Or call in if you have a question or whatever. Anyway, it's Stephen Jerome, Jerrome. Again, a local Lagunaite, and it's interesting that he has this new book out, his third book. We'll have to hear about his first two books. But anyway, we'll catch up with Stephen a week from today, and which will be, I'm sure, fun. Okay. And what I do have, so that's what's going on locally. Now, I struggle for stories and interesting news I can relate to everyone that is on a positive note, because it seems lately, as hate travels a lot faster than love, it seems, unfortunately. Although love goes deeper than hate. Love hits at the heart, but I digress here. Anyway, so it's with my radio program, Rainbow Radio, I do my best to try to find positive, good, uplifting, inspiring stories that make you feel good on Sunday morning when you're having your second cup of coffee and ready for that mimosa and those eggs Benedict, depending where you are. Anyway, in the Netherlands. Now, why are the Netherlands so important? Well, they have quite a rich history. Starting, I went back to 8000 BC in my studies, and yes, and Netherlands has gone through quite a bit of stuff. Amsterdam seceded and became its own space from the Netherlands, but the Netherlands has kind of been in Europe a focal point for politics and many things that go on, and I think whether it's on the world stage, it is a bright light. And so the Netherlands has recently had a much like I think in France, the politics have come around to a very ultra conservative and I want to say not LGBTQ friendly. Incidentally, the Netherlands was the first country to legalize gay marriage. So, yeah, there you go. Tells you a little bit of story. But anyway, there was a very conservative party that had recently really locked it down. And there was really, it didn't look like there was any real hope for any changes. And the Conservative Party was not supportive of many equality issues and fairness. I feel like that's my, you can be conservative and you can be fair, but it seems lately that being conservative is a lot more than that. And conservative becomes judgmental and judgmental becomes hatred, it seems. So anyway, I'm bringing you a story of change, possibility and identity from across the ocean. A story that matters not just for the Netherlands, but the whole world and for LGBTQ plus communities everywhere. And now the rest of the story. So the lead in is in a land of windmills, tulips, canals, and centuries of political tradition, something remarkable is stirring. Meet Rob Jetton. Let me make that really clear. It's Rob, R-O-B, Jetton, J-E-T-T-E-N. Well, what the heck is he? Who the heck is he? A 38-year-old Dutch politician, leader of the centrist party, Democrats 66, or they referred to as D66, whose party has just surged in the October 29th, 2025 general election in the Netherlands. Now, when I got this information, it hadn't, he's been confirmed. And let me go. Rob Jetton stands on the cusp of making history. He is poised to become, or he has become, the youngest and first openly gay prime minister of the Netherlands. But friends, why is this so significant? Let's just unpack this a little bit and the meaning behind it. So the background and family. Jetton was born March 25th, 1987. Now, does that make me feel old? In Veghel, North Brabant, Netherlands. He grew up in Uden and studied public administration at Radboud University. Never heard of Radboud University. And before politics, worked in management and consulting at the ProRail, the Dutch rail network. So in transportation, I know someone else in transportation that's in politics or was in transportation. Anyway, I digress. He is engaged. This is the interesting part, I find, to Argentine hockey player Nicholas Kanan, a personal milestone making waves in the global LGBT community. The Netherlands itself boasts the storied history of LGBTQ rights, the first country to legalize same-sex marriage, and Jetton's emergence adds a new chapter. And why now and why him? In recent years, Dutch politics has been tense. I think that's an understatement. The far-right party, Geert Wilders' party, for freedom had emerged. Coalition government fell apart. Immigration and housing crises loomed. Where does that sound familiar? I don't know. Oh, I must go on. Then came the election. Rob Jetton's message shifted from being known as a climate and energy minister or transportation person to unveiling a broader "yes, we can" in Dutch. "Het kan we." Well, "het kan wel." "Het kan wel." I should say that. I got a Dutch friend, I should say that. Okay. Optimistic agendas, housing, immigration reform, and European cooperation. That is what Rob Jetton is about. His party nearly tripled its seats and now is in a position to lead coalition talks, putting him in line at the top job. So wouldn't that be nice somewhere closer to home? Oh my God. But I go on anyway. Significance in multiple layers. Let's go on. For LGBTQ leadership, if Jeton becomes prime minister, when Jeton becomes, well, he is prime minister. See, this was a day before I wrote this a day before, and I haven't. Okay. It will mark one of the most visible milestones for openly gay leadership in Europe. For youth and renewal, at 38, he signals generational change. You think maybe that could work somewhere else? Instead of being, who is this? We got a legislator. It's 99 years old. Now, I'm old, but I don't know. Okay, where did I? It means fresh perspectives, less pottery of old politics. Okay, for political climate, his rise suggests a pivot away from the populist polarizing rhetoric of recent years towards more centrist cooperative model. His campaign openly challenged Wilders' identity politics framework. That's his competitor, Wilders, and Wilders is the conservative one. So engage the true principles that science has before us is what he's saying, and that's climate change. So for housing and immigration policy is trying his leadership in delivering real issues, building 100,000 new homes a year, and rethinking asylum pathways. Well, I know someone else that might benefit from some rethinking asylum pathways. Mm-hmm. A little closer to home, maybe. Okay. The symbolism. In a country proud of liberal values that challenged by global shifts, his story is both normalizing and trailblazing, the first of its kind. It resonates with Rainbow Radio's core audience and mission, and indeed. So let's take a moment here. Let's just say, imagine a supermarket in the Netherlands. A young politician meets his hockey player fiance there. That's the truth. The kind of everyday moment that belies the historic nature of what's to come. And yet, when the big stage calls, when votes are counted, and when coalition halls fill with tension, he stands nonetheless. Ever the kid from Uden with big dreams. And to our listeners, many of whom tune into for LGBTQ news, identity, and empowerment, this story reminds us progress does not always roar. Sometimes it walks quietly through ordinary spaces and ends up making history anyway. So, my final thoughts. Because democracy, identity, human rights, they are not local only. When a country like the Netherlands, so often held up as a leader of inclusion, takes this step, it echoes globally. It says, yes, a person who loves differently can lead. It says, yes, youth and optimism have a place. It says, yes, the center can win. For the Rainbow Radio audiences, this is not just news, it's part of a wider movement. And now you know the rest of the story. I'm above the moon. I'm above the moon on that one. And so the story goes. Indeed.
I wanna hold the hand inside you. I wanna take a breath that's true. I look to you and I see nothing. I look to you to see the truth. You live your life, you go in shadow. You'll come apart and you'll go blind. Some kind of light into your darkness. Colors your eyes with what's not there. Fade into you. Strange you there. A stranger's light comes on slowly. A stranger's heart without a home. You put your hands into your head. And then a smile cover your heart. Fade into you. Fade you there. Fade into fade into you. I think it's strange you never know.
Oh, that is Fade Into You, of course, by Razor. Anyway, what's up next? What's up next is now we have the sobering part of we had the uplifting, and I'm sorry, folks, we have to do some housekeeping here and do the sobering part. So there is some issue. There is a very important date, which is November 7th. And I bring that up for many good reasons. And so without further ado, let me just dive into it. And this is a moment when you might want to have that Bloody Mary nearby. I don't know. Okay. Folks, 10 summers ago, the Supreme Court said, love's paperwork counts the same, no matter who you love. They called it Obergefell and Obergefell. Wedding rings didn't get heavier, but families did get safer. So here we are in November 2025, watching the court's shadow docket for a familiar name, Kim Davis. The Kentucky clerk who refused to issue marriage licenses has asked the justice, is plural, to overturn that 2015 ruling, the Obergefell. On Friday, November 7th, the justices meet in a private conference to decide whether to take her case. It is not a vote on marriage yet, just a vote on whether to hear it. But the calendar date is real and the stakes are obvious. Keep that date circled, folks. That's coming up. Today's what, the 2nd? Yeah, so it's Friday. Now what else in the legal weather report? First, remember 2 decisions from June that changed the barometric pressure. In United States versus Skirmeti, I hope I pronounced that right. That was in June 18th of 25. The court upheld Tennessee's ban on gender-affirming care for minors. That opinion signaled a narrower reading of equal protection for LGBTQ people and a willingness to let states wall off care, unfortunately. Even if your family isn't directly affected, the doctrine that wins there can show up at your courthouse tomorrow whenever the states say, our rule is different for you. 9 days later came Mohammed versus Taylor. The court, that was on June 27th. The court sided with parents challenging a Maryland district's decision not to allow opt-outs for elementary lessons that include LGBTQ-themed storybooks, framing it as burdensome clash with religious exercise. Again, not about marriage licenses, but whether the LGBTQ plus people may be treated as an exception in civic life. Exceptions have a way of multiplying. Oh, I told you this wasn't going to be a good one. Next up this term, the justices heard arguments on October 7th in a case testing whether states may ban licensed therapists from offering so-called conversion therapy to minors. If the court recasts these bans as censorship of speech, watch for a ripple effect. It could weaken states' ability to police harmful practices under the banner of professional standards and embolden efforts to roll back LGBTQ plus protections, a decision expected by next summer. So that's down the tube a ways, but is it, let's see, how could I say that? Free speech versus medical research is, to me, what that is about. Both those things come together in this court hearing. Is it, if you say that, how could I put it in a metaphorical, offer a metaphor for it? You can say a lot of things as long as they're opinions but if you're a doctor and you say, you shouldn't amputate your leg by yourself because and it's a bad thing to try and do, you probably kill yourself, which is okay. The other side is, well, I can say what I want to. I can say that it's okay for me to that you can amputate your leg, and if you want to do it, do it, because it's free speech. Well, it comes back to the very basic point. If you're in a crowded theater and you stand up and yell, fire, 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 there is no fire, and 20 people trample themselves and get killed, that's not free speech. That's something different, and some of the same reasoning should follow in that case where the justices heard those arguments and whether they're going to look at it again, which they are going to look at it this next summer, which I know we're just barely getting into winter, but there you have it. Okay, 2 more live wires are the transgender athlete cases, and the court added to this term. However, the court draws lines in school sports. The reasoning will be cited far beyond locker rooms to ID politics, facilities, access, and yes, arguments about whose marriages deserve full recognition in public programs. That's how the doctrines travel. And outside the marble temple of court proceedings, a coordinated campaign has pushed state house resolutions urging the court to scrap marriage equality. Many are symbolic, some have advanced, all are designed to create an appearance of momentum. The legal effect is small, and the political drumbeat is the point. It's just about posturing, I suppose. In moments like this, silence is mistaken for consent. Don't be silent. So, what should we watch for in the near future? So, November 7th, SCOTUS conferences on the Kim Davis petition. If the court declines, Obergefell stands another day stronger. If it grants review, buckle up for a bumpy ride. Been to the rodeo. Buckle up for a term where the question becomes, do rights shrink quietly by exceptions or loudly by reversal? So let's hope that they don't take it up, because there is good reason. I've heard arguments on both sides of them taking it up and not. And in my unprofessional opinion as an attorney, because I'm not, I wouldn't think it should be accepted. But with this Supreme Court, it's just anyone's guess anymore. They wouldn't accept the argument. So we'll see. That's Friday. And I'll probably be talking about it a week from today. Spring 2026, that's what's up next. Decisions are due in the conversion therapy case and possibly sports cases. Read the opinions for the rules they write, not for the headaches they grab. That's where the next fights will be staged. And number 3, lower court fallout. From Skirmetti and Mohammed, school boards, health departments, and city clerks are already testing how far exceptions can stretch. Local policy meetings now matter as much as appellate arguments. And now the rest of the story. Marriage equality was won in court, yes, but also in kitchens, cubicles, and congregations. Yes. The court can change doctrine, neighbors change norms, while lawmakers float symbolic resolutions, answer with visible families. When the policies carve out exceptions, show up with everyday stories, adoption, paperwork, hospital visitation, taxes done jointly, ordinary proof that marriage is not a culture war trophy, but a safety plan for love. Yep, got my vote. If you remember just one thing this week, make this: the rights survive when they're used out loud. So yeah, it's like, I don't know, on Facebook, of course, I'm being fed because they know my profile, I suppose, but I see lots and lots of pictures of gay parents and kids and families and family stories. And that speaks volumes, folks, I feel like, because it's all about the love of a family and a place for those that to be them truly themselves. So celebrate your anniversaries in public. Thank the clerk who prints that corrected birth certificate. Write the school board member who votes for the inclusive curricula. Courts read the country. Let's give them a good book. Rainbow Radio, where every headline has a hidden truth and every family has a future. And I'm unanimous in that.
Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in midair. Where are the clowns? Isn't it bliss? Don't you approve? One who keeps tearing around, one who can't move. Where are the clouds? There ought to be clouds just when I'd stop opening doors. Finally knowing the one that I wanted was yours. Making my entrance again with my usual flair. Sure of my loves, no one is there. Don't you love farms? My fault, I fear. I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry, my dear. But where are the clouds? Send in the clouds. Don't bother, they're here. Isn't it rich? Isn't it queer? Losing my timing this late in my career. But where are the clouds? There ought to be clouds. Well, maybe next year.
My name is Henry Walker, and I'm a fourth-generation banker and CEO of Farmers and Merchants Bank. When my great-grandparents, Carrie and C.J. Walker, started F&M Bank 118 years ago, they made a pledge to help small businesses and working people achieve the American dream right here in a new land called California. We've been honing that vision ever since through 4 generations of family stewardship. We've worked to create a culture unlike any other bank in the nation, of purpose over profit, of service above self, of partnerships based on trust. We make banking personal. Our latest addition to the F&M family is our beautiful new Laguna Beach branch location at Glen Eyrie and Laguna Ave. We're here to help you realize your dreams of home ownership, financial planning, and starting or growing a business. Stop by. You never need an appointment. Our bankers are members of the community. They remember your name because we pride ourselves on genuine relationships, not transactional ones. F&M Bank, some things will always be. Stop by today. Member FDIC.
Thank you, Farmers and Merchants Bank. We appreciate you here on KXFM Radio 104.7 here in Laguna Beach Community Radio, where we get the message across, a message out there about the locals, and in my case, locals and internationals and all over the world. Yes, here we are. I promised a little more, I don't know, heartfelt messaging here, or heartfelt thoughts, and I know part of the program instead of, let's keep it up, you know. So this is about the man who gave 700 hugs. This is a true story, and I absolutely just love it. Now, a hug is real important. It's free. I have a friend who loves to give hugs. He doesn't like people real close into his personal space, but he loves to give hugs. And it's important. So I remember never being hugged by my father, but he did share his feelings in other ways. And the one time I hugged him, or attempted to hug him, he made fun of me and said, "Was that something I learned at college?" You know, like like it was, I don't know. My mother apologized for his behavior, of course. But that was my experience. And so to this day, when I see a father hugging their child, or a father hugging someone, it is an emotional thing for me. And it's important that we share those hugs. So let me get to the story. There was a man in Pittsburgh, just a regular man, really, no cape, no uniform, no entourage. His name was Howie Dittman, Dittman. Howie. And one June afternoon, while the city's Pride Parade pulsed with color and celebration, Howie didn't come with a banner or a slogan. He came with open arms and a sign that simply read, "Free Dad Hugs." Yep, free hugs from a dad. Free dad hugs. He thought maybe a handful of people might take him up on it, might take him seriously. But that day, more than 700 souls did. Some came smiling, some came trembling, many came in tears. You see, for some of those kids, that was the first fatherly embrace they'd felt since coming out. For others, it might have been the only one that they would get all year. Howie later said, "They just melted into my arms." One young woman whispered, "My dad hasn't spoken to me in 3 years." Another young man sobbed, "I miss my mom so much." Imagine being hugged not because of who the world wants you to be, but because of who you are. You see, that's the real meaning of pride. It's not just about parades and flags and rainbows. It's about being seen. It's about being loved, about being enough. Because for every child turned away at the door for being different, there's a wound that runs deeper than all other wounds. And yet one man, one hug can start to heal it. In a world where rejection too often echoes louder than love, oh my gosh, yes, Howie Dittman reminded us that something profoundly simple. You don't need to share someone's story to share their humanity. You don't need to be their parent to give them fatherly love. And when someone's heart is breaking, sometimes the best therapy isn't found in a prescription. It's found in a hug. So to every mom or dad or grandparent and friend out there, remember this. You don't have to understand everything about someone to let them know they belong. Love doesn't cost a dime. But rejection costs a lifetime. And now you know the rest of the story.
Put your head on my shoulder. Hold me in your arms, baby. Squeeze me oh so tight. Show me that you love me too. Put your lips next to mine, dear. Won't you kiss me once, baby? Just a kiss goodnight, baby. You and I will fall in love.
People say that love's a game you just can't win.
Yes, years away. I'll find it someday, and then it's forward and share. Put your head on my shoulder, whisper in my ear, baby, words I wanna hear. Tell me that you love me too. Put your head on my shoulder, whisper in my ear, baby, words I wanna hear. Baby, put your head on my shoulder.
Those are the voices of three youthful siblings out of Tempe, Arizona, Life in 3D. And they've got a lot of great songs. They do some old, some new, and that is obviously a classic that I just played, Put Your Head on My Shoulder. But sometimes it's nice to have that shoulder, isn't it? So in keeping, I got another, I guess, melancholy moment here that I want to share with everyone. It's where every headline has a hidden truth and every story has a brighter side. Today, I want to talk to you a story about began not with a parade or a protest, but with a letter, a simple letter, written by a trembling hand. In 2016, a young man named Brandon, and his last name is Piski Wissix. It's a long one and it's complicated, okay? He is from a small town in Indiana. Finally decided to tell his father the truth about who he was. He'd known it for years. He'd whispered it to friends, cried it into his pillow, but never dared say it out loud at home, like so many young adults. So he wrote it down. He wrote, "Dad, I'm gay." He sealed it, stamped it, and dropped it into the mailbox. And with that single act, he dropped years of fear in the hands of fate. And then he waited. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into years. The silence between them grew heavy. A silence that only love, or the lack of it, can make. Brandon moved on with his life, carrying that unanswered letter in an invisible scar. 8 years passed. 8 years wondering if love had an expiration date. And then one day, Brandon's phone lit up with a voicemail. The voice on the other end was familiar, deep, steady, and kind. It was his father. And his father said, "Son, I just want you to know I got your letter 8 years ago. I'm proud of you. I love you. Always have, always will. No judgment, no delay, just love. Quiet, unconditional, overdue, but right on time." The voicemail went viral on TikTok, shared by millions. Because in a world where shouting seems to be the loudest language, this father spoke softly and healed loudly. And Brandon? He said that hearing those words healed something in him that he had been broken for far too long. He said, I felt like I could breathe again. Now, here's the beautiful twist. After that voicemail spread, fathers and mothers all over the country began leaving their own messages, saying things like they'd been too afraid to say. Messages like, come home, or we're proud of you, or the simplest of all, I love you just the way you are. It became a quiet movement, not flags and marches, but of phone calls and forgiveness. Ugh. You see, the great miracle of love is not just that it accepts, it transforms. When a parent opens their heart, a child opens their wings. And maybe that's the moral tucked inside today's story. Sometimes love doesn't arrive on time. Sometimes it takes 8 years. But when it does, oh, that changes everything. That voicemail didn't just reconnect a father with a son, it reminded millions of people that it's never too late to say the words that matter most. So, my dear listeners, maybe today's, oh, maybe tonight is the right night to make that call. Maybe today you say, I love you to someone who's been waiting 8 years to hear it. Because in a world that can divide us with headlines, nothing unites us quite like simple words. This is Rainbow Radio, where we remind you that love, no matter who you are or who you love, is the truest sound that a heart can make. And now you know the rest of the story.
All the crap I learned in high school. It's a wonder I can think it all. And my life of education hasn't hurt me none. I can read the writing on the wall.
On the ground,
Oh, but
you admitted we're on the climb.
these summers makes you think all the to a sunny day. Yeah. Yeah, but I look to the grass on the day. If you took all the girls I knew when I was single, brought them all together for one night, I know they never catch my sweet imagination. Everything looks worse in black and white. Oh, makes you think all it's a sunny day. Oh, yeah.
KXRN LP, Laguna Niguel, Laguna Beach. KXFM on 104.7, KXFMradio.org.
Hey there, what's up, Laguna? I'm Janice Murray here with news. Our city council has voted to support further marketing of our town through Visit Laguna Beach. They voted to renew the contract with Visit Laguna, but the focus will be different. Laguna Beach has informed Visit Laguna that we want more overnight guests at our fine hotels instead of day trippers from inland who bring most of their stuff from their house and then leave a lot of trash. Council says, quote, day trippers are the issue, unquote. Council also wants to make the newly purchased St. Catherine's School profitable and is looking forward to a new agreement with Newport Beach to provide 2/3 of our fresh water from a new well in Fountain Valley to the north. And I'm Janice Murray for news on KXFM. And now, here's Dave.
Well, as we all know, we are into the month of November. Happy Sunday, Janice. And we've got a good-looking day for the most part, but we are in this marine layer pattern now that we're going to be used to here for probably the next several months. It will vary from time to time, but obviously we start with the morning clouds, and then that gives way to lots of glorious sunshine for the afternoon with very pleasant temperatures. So on this Sunday, morning clouds give way to sunshine. It's a nice day. It's a degree or two warmer than yesterday. The beach 71, 73 in the hilltop, the canyon 71 degrees. Tonight, some clouds around 58. Monday, do it again. Morning clouds, then sunny and 72 degrees. Don't forget, with that time change, the sunset today is at 4:57. That's my forecast. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray. Tune in. Turn on to KXFM 1047, Laguna's Community Radio.
Aloha, ue, komo mai. I'm Tommy J, and we'll take off each Sunday evening from 5 to 7, writing vintage surf music and tropical island vamps on KXFM on 1047 airwaves. Local Laguna musicians will drop in to hot dog never-before-heard tracks of their original creations for your smooth ride home with 10 toes on the nose. Streaming worldwide at kxfmradio.org and on the free mobile app, you'll feel the pulse of the Pacific and mellow vibe of Laguna tropical surf.
Oh, did you catch that in the weather there that the sunset is at 4:47 p.m.? That's just no, I don't like it.
I hate it.
Welcome to Radio here, and Eddie Singletary has just popped in. We appreciate that. Could we just leave it alone? You know,
Did he say 447, Craig, or did he say 457? I thought
he said 4:57, but it's
all the same. It's before 5 o'clock. It's hideous.
exactly. You're still at work, most people. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like you got to put your headlights on to go home.
it's terrible.
Oh, it's terrible. No time to go to the beach. No time to watch the sunset. It's down before you get off work.
But I do have to say, Craig, there is something about this day when I get an extra hour of sleep that just brings me an unbelievable amount of joy.
That didn't happen for me. Sorry.
You didn't get an extra hour? You would have got an extra.
I didn't get that joy part of it.
Oh,
No.
so you don't enjoy the extra. I enjoy the extra hour. You know what I enjoyed mostly though about the commercial break between before I jumped on was Janice Murray talking about day tripping, because back in my day, day tripping meant entirely different things.
Oh,
I did a lot of day tripping.
I never thought about that before you got your senses.
Oh my God! Before.
Well, it's what is that one song? I just want to have a beer.
Yes, day tripping. I day tripped like mostly through high school and beyond is what I did.
So you weren't present.
No, oh no, Craig. I wanted to be not present. That was the whole point.
Day trip.
Being present was too much.
I don't know why they ever day tripped. I remember the first time when I drank beer in the middle of the day. It was on a houseboat at Shasta Lake. There was 8 of us rented a houseboat, and we had 16 cases of beer.
Oh, I love that.
But I never had a drink in the afternoon, and it was just so strange to feel a good buzz in the middle of the afternoon.
Oh, there's nothing
And
like a little day drinking on a vacation.
so I thought, what the heck? Yeah, and we ran out of beer, folks. So,
Mm.
in those days, there was a lot of beer consumption. But anyway, how is Edward? Is he up to?
I survived the weekend. I did not go to the insane boulevard that is West Hollywood. I did not go for Halloween because I worked there for 12 years at that bar in West
Yeah.
Hollywood. And the idea of being on the other side of the bar and being in that crowd just freaks me out. Like the year I left that bar and I did go out that Halloween just because I wanted to see what it was like. I got so like anxious. I'm not good in crowds, but I did have a good time when I worked behind the bar because I had that like, that 3 feet of granite separating me from the thirsty masses, as it were. But I did not go. I did not attend. But I heard it was very well attended. They said there was it was pre-pandemic level of participation. So that's
close to a couple 100,000.
yeah.
It's huge. I know. One year, it's probably been 8 years ago. I decided I was going to go, and I went. I got there about 4 p.m. and sat down and they watched them close the streets. And I did not leave until about 4 a.m. Now, I didn't do a lot of drinking or anything, but I just found it so interesting because it is a very wholesome, early on, very wholesome kids and families and the most creative.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone's so happy. And then as the night progresses, it gets a little more provocative. And maybe you wouldn't want all your kids out there.
Right.
The whole atmosphere changes. Then by 2 a.m, it's
all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, did I see what I thought I just saw?
Are you in costume or you just really look that bad?
Right. Oh, that's so funny.
It's amazing. It's amazing that many people can get together in that amount of space and so little, bad things happen. But of course, they must have had ice in there to separate it all, keep it in order. It wouldn't have happened, right?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, right. But I digress. So you missed Halloween, and
I missed Halloween, which was fine. It was just fine. I did not want to deal with I didn't want to deal with the crowds. It's weird. It's funny as I get older, I don't really enjoy it as much. When I'm on that, being on the other side of a bar, I think is the problem because it's just people some are just not so well behaved. Some are. Most are, which is great.
People are happy, but there's a few.
Yes.
Not to try to ruin it for everyone. So I do. You may have missed this announcement at the top of the last hour. I'm going to bring it back around. I'm going to have a guest next week. And for the first hour anyway, he's written a book called The London Year, and his name is Stephen Jerome, and it's set in 1970s, which I can say I can remember. 23-year-old American Terry Gaines arrives unexpectedly in London. It was not part of his life's plan, knowing no one, so he meets an older gay American, two older gay American expats.
Oh my goodness.
Carlos and Bert, who have a room to rent along with an instant social life. So it could be a very interesting book. So he will be my guest this next Sunday, a week from today at probably 10 or a little bit thereafter. And Eddie, have you written a book lately?
No, but I did. No, but when I do, Craig, here you have some homework. You've got to read this man's book before you interview him.
Really?
Yes, you
can't. I don't even know it's published yet.
Oh. Well, you have to try. You have to try so you can be informed and ask informed questions.
You're saying I'm uninformed?
No, I mean if you have.
I understand. I agree, and get all the nuances. I usually listen to a audio version of the books while I'm doing.
Well, then read it out loud.
Oh, on the show. Yeah. Well, let's do that. I'll be the.
Just at home. Just read it out loud at home.
Royalties for every book sold, right?
Right. Just read it out loud at home.
No,
I was listening. Well, first of all, congratulations on the guest. That's a huge land, and I hope that I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm gonna tune
yeah,
in, as will everybody.
yeah. And he's
Um,
local. He's a Lagunaite. So
oh,
that even makes it more cool.
that is very cool. Yeah, we need more. We need local talent in there.
Yeah.
Local talent.
So did you check in what's happening with your friends in the Netherlands?
My friends in the no, but you were I heard I walked the dog and listened to the show, so I wouldn't be completely ill-informed. I am prepared to talk about the Supreme Court thing, but I missed the good news of the Netherlands. Please repeat it because it bears
Oh my
repeating.
God.
Good news bears repeating.
Well, if
Is
you
it
missed
not good? Is it not
last
good news?
hour, it's absolutely the most wonderful news. It is. They got a new prime minister, Rob Jetten, Jetten. He's 38, very
Oh.
handsome,
Mm.
and I saw him interviewed, and all of the women interviewers were news people were with all their microphones were going nuts. I have to say, but he is engaged to a soccer player, and it's quite the deal.
Is he a
So
homosexual?
well, yeah. Let me see this.
Oh my
This
God.
I'll share.
Googling. I'm
I share
Googling him now.
because this why is this so why should we care about him being elected? It says because democracy, identity, human rights are not local only. When a country like the Netherlands, so often held up as a leader in inclusion, takes this step, it echoes globally. It says, yes, a person who loves differently can lead. It says, yes, youth and optimism have a place. It says, yes, the center can win, the center of the politics. For Rainbow Radio audiences, it's not just news overseas, it's part of a wider movement. So there's a lot behind it, Eddie. I don't think for the sake of the people that have already heard it.
Oh yeah, no. I did listen. I love this. It's so great.
I find it interesting that he was in transportation, and I do think I know someone here that was in transportation that
Let me think.
and married, well, soon to be married, and I do know someone that's been in. Yeah, I don't know who that would be. Maybe a youthful person
Someone young,
interested
maybe
in politics.
a Gen Xer,
maybe a former mayor, of a
Mhm.
I don't know.
Maybe a veteran. Wouldn't it be great if only we had like a gay veteran who has public service experience that
Yeah.
was not only a mayor but actually served in an
Who would that be? I don't know. I could think about that.
And this person would be even better if he looked good in a beard. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to tell you, I'm all about Pete, man. I'm loving me some Pete.
Wouldn't that just be? I mean, we talked
Oh
about
my
pendulum
God.
swinging, and it swung so far in one direction at this point. I'm afraid the whole thing's going to collapse. But if we can swing it back the other way, wouldn't that just be really?
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Someone
my
who
God.
cares about people, who cares about honesty,
Who's not afraid to go on Fox News and
Yeah.
talk to them,
Yeah, and talk to everyone, and really put partisan politics aside, which is very different than regular politics, and bring a nation together that really needs some healing, I feel, and share all of the values that I think most of the people share, contrary to the few that are in command.
Mm-hmm.
My feeling, but anyway, they said I could have an opinion, so there's my opinion. So,
So I think that's a good opinion. I agree. I'm with you all the way.
yeah.
Now, I also heard you going on about the Supreme Court thing about taking up the Obergefell versus Hodges ruling.
I'm glad someone else has a hard time with that name.
Oh, it's really terrible.
I
It's terrible.
do.
So I just want to let you know, I was so heartbroken because I know that this is kind of like this. There were murmurings of this from Clarence Thomas, that they were talking about taking it up again, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to ask ChatGPT, or I'm going to ask Gemini. Okay, so I asked, what are the odds gay marriage will be overturned by this Supreme Court? Do you want to know what the answer was?
Yeah, I do.
Based on analysis from legal experts and current legal activity, the consensus among many analyses is that the odds of the Supreme Court completely overturning Obergefell versus Hodges are currently low, though the threat remains a major topic of discussion, and that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Very
I
interesting.
thought that was interesting. I thought that,
Yeah.
it gave me a little hope because I mean, the undoing of, I mean, in summary, while some justices might be open to limiting religious exemptions or other related areas, most legal experts suggest the required 5 votes to completely eradicate nationwide marriage equality are not currently evident, making the odds of an outright overturn unlikely in the immediate term, though
Yeah.
not zero.
And 10
So,
years, a lot of attitudes have changed, and a lot of people really
right.
understand why. I mean, when I remember when they first said, "Well, we should get married," I always used to think, "Why?" That's not, that's kind of a straight thing. When that was me, and then I
Right.
realized my attorney friend said, Craig, a gay a marriage includes over, I don't know, 1,300 accountable laws that are preferable to the marriage as opposed not to, and anything that's short of full marriage or recognition of full marriage, you're not treated fairly. And then I think beyond that, the bond of a family, and when the parents are married, and is so much more beneficial for the kids, that they understand that they do have parents and that they're recognized by their peers and they're recognized in the schools. Makes a huge difference for those kids, and adopted or created, whatever. That's my story.
I completely agree. For myself, I'm not it's so funny. My dad asked me, "What do you think about the gay marriage thing?" I said, I don't even really believe in heterosexual marriage. I just think the whole thing is such a scam. But do what you got to do. I do think though that if it's good for the goose, it's good for the ganders and boys that dress like ganders. So you know what I mean? I think, I believe, but personally, I just was like, wow, when you step back and look at it, it's such a, I don't know, see.
What I did research on it with Clark. What was her name? Clark. I don't even want to remember her name. But the county clerk that refused to give the marriages that.
Oh, isn't it the Oberbooger? The Oberbooger, isn't that her name?
No, the county clerk.
Right, I know you're talking about, but I thought that was the lawsuit that they were taking up. Isn't that her last name?
She's suing. She was wrongfully terminated because it violated her rights to issue those marriages, and that's why it's coming back to the court. And so,
gotcha.
It wants to take it up and hear it, then that could open the door to a lot more. So, what I've heard about what her argument is for her what she represents in her lawsuit is that it's not well founded, and in fact, there is case history, years and years of it being dismissed. So it's not favorable, but nonetheless, it's like I said earlier in the program, who's to guess what the Supreme Court's going to do or say anymore?
Right.
Let's be prepared for everything, or try to be prepared for everything. So, I do have another subject here.
Oh.
Yeah, Eddie, that's important because it's about the shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a big difference. I had a friend on Facebook from high school, and the message he sent, he posted, I think he got it somewhere else, said that, we wholly hold the Democrats responsible for the shutdown because they won't. 80% of their constituents say that they should support a continuing resolution to keep the government open, and that got my ire up. Do you know what a continuing resolution is?
Yeah, it's kicking the can down the road, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So And that's what they've always done. And that to me means that, listen, we'll give you a second chance to legislate and get the things done to keep the budget operating. But here's the deadline, and you got to get you people need to call Congress back into session, and you need to have some debate, and you need to put all this stuff out there. But what most of them, I think my friend didn't realize, is that what is proposed is a new bill. It's not a continuing resolution.
It's a bill, right?
It's a bill, and the bill removes so many protections and has so far-reaching. It's like saying we're rewriting the Constitution on some level, and these are the things that you need if you want. So, in essence, what is happening? It's we're being hostage held for ransom.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. So it's another week in America where the lights are still on in Washington, D.C., and the nation once again asks, how did our government manage to shut itself down? It all comes down to two letters, CR, continuing resolution, and the big fight over who gets to write the rules while the rest of us wait for the bills to be paid. A continuing resolution is Congress versions of a pause button. Like you said, Eddie, it's kicking the can down the road. When lawmakers can't agree on a New Year's spending plan, the 12 bills that fund everything from highways to health care, they pass a continuing resolution. That means keep the lights on for at least at last year's levels while we finish our homework. They haven't done their homework. In fact, they've been on vacation now for 5 weeks. Well, yeah. Well, it'll be 5 weeks pretty soon because they shut it down the 1st of October. It's very simple. It's temporary. It doesn't change policy. It doesn't add any new political riders. So it's a congressional equivalent of paying our rent on time while you're still arguing about how to remodel the kitchen.
Right.
That's a really nice way to put it. That's
That's a really good. That's a really great analogy.
Very simple. But this year, the House Republicans majority said, no more CRs. Instead, they drafted their own version, a funding bill that ties reopening the government to a list of partisan demands being held hostage. Cut to social programs, higher defense spending, and new border policies, all rolled into take it or leave it. So they're not just saying keep funding the government. They're saying we will only reopen it if you agree to these terms. So both sides are supposed to, like you said, have a healthy dialogue, come to some resolution on all the things they want to talk about. This doesn't allow it.
The Republican Party is not allowed to debate. The Republican Party is only allowed to do whatever Donald Trump wants them to do. There is no, and
exactly.
Go ahead.
Well, this is it is actually the very definition of hostage politics.
Oh, totally.
And it's using the wrong instruments to promote an unfair agenda. So imagine if your landlord locked you out of your house and said, oh, you can come back in only if you agree to mow the lawn, fix my fence, and buy me dinner. You'd call that ransom. So, okay, right. So what's the shutdown become? A national standoff where the American people, federal workers, families, artists, students, soldiers are the ones locked outside while the White House argues over the conditions of reopening the government, funds a grand ballroom, and takes a vacation. The resolution is about keeping the lights on. The Republican bill is about changing the wiring, the fixtures, and the rules before anyone gets back inside. ACR, I don't know what's ACR. Oh, continuing says, let's keep paying the troops, the teachers, the scientists, and the rangers until we settle the details. The GOP says we'll pay them, but only after you agree to our remodel. That's not budgeting, it's bargaining.
Yes.
So, what does all this mean? Yeah.
Well, the good news is that based on recent polling,
yes,
when asked what party does the majority of the country blame for the current shutdown, a plurality of Americans tend to blame President Trump and the Republicans in Congress. One recent poll showed 45% holding Trump and the GOP mainly responsible compared to 33% of the Democrats. Independents, a low-key voting bloc, tend to blame Republicans over Democrats by a 2-1 margin, which is looking really good. I mean, that to me is going to move the needle. I think that there was rumblings that this thing was going to be solved over the weekend, but we'll see. You know, it's not. They're digging themselves a huge hole. It's ridiculous. Are you there?
Indeed.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. The deadline. I mean, it appears, and obviously, yes, and it's the, you know, it's all over the, you know, the subsidies and the Affordable Care Act. But I got to tell you what, I mean, what was kind of smart and I thought was kind of genius is that because the Dems held on for so long, now the rates for the exchanges are coming out, and regular everyday Americans who benefit greatly from these subsidies are seeing what their new premiums are going to be, and it's horrifying what's happening. Oh, it's gonna move the needle.
Ask the brain what the subsidies are for the fossil fuel industry versus well, let's see, food subsidies or to feed the children. Anyway, I've got one little station break here, and we'll be right back with Eddie while he does a little research on that.
Do a little research.
All right.
Hi, we're Graham and Rio. We are students in the Flow program at Laguna Beach High School. Did you realize that the size of your foundation and attic vent meshes can make a big difference in preventing wildfire home intrusion? Many homes have 1/4 inch mesh on their vents, but embers from wildfires can easily pass through openings of that size.
Switching your vents to 1/8 inch mesh can help keep those embers out. It's an inexpensive upgrade that adds an extra layer of protection. Check your vents, make the switch, and stay fire safe. This message is brought to you by the Greater Laguna Coast Fire Safe Council and station KXFM 104.7, Laguna's community radio.
Whoa. My love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time. And time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much for you. Still more. Godspeed. Your love to me. Lonely rivers flow to the sea, to the sea, to the open arms of the sea. Lonely riverside, wait for me, wait for me. I'll be coming home, wait for me. My darling, I've hungered for your touch alone. Every time. And I can do
But your love.
No, that's the trio of siblings from Tempe, Life in 3D with I Need Your Love. Unchained Melody, actually. Let's get it right, Craig. So we're here with Eddie, and I thought it looked over there, looked like you were taking a nap, but I guess
No, I was looking on my phone. I was like, I was doing research. I was busy doing research.
Research, yes, resting your eyes. With a little. So let me. We were talking about being held hostage and what the shutdown is, and I should just temper this a little bit with that. Yesterday it was mentioned by our speaker that probably they won't reopen the government till January.
Oh.
Yeah, whether that's just an idle threat or whatever, but they're going, oh, well, we don't need it. You just, when those air traffic controllers are on their third or fourth or their second month of no pay, and their rent is due, 2 months rent due. Anyway, of course, Republicans say they are fighting for fiscal responsibility. They call it leverage, not extortion. No, of course. But here's the uncomfortable truth. When you shut down your own government to force one side to surrender, you're not negotiating, you're taking hostages. And the ransom, it's not gold or cash, it's policy.
That's
it's
right.
The demand that the opposing party, the Senate and the president, sign off on cuts and changes that could pass through that should and could pass through normal debate. It's skipping the hearings, it's skipping the amendments and skipping the compromise and holding the entire country's paycheck as the bargaining chip. And we've seen this before, 95 and 2013 and 2018. Every time someone tries this tactic, America pays the price first, and the politicians pay later at the ballot box, because America understands one simple thing. We don't fix the country by breaking it first. That's an interesting concept.
Yeah, didn't this happen during the Reagan administration? Didn't he order those guys back to work or something? Was it him?
Yeah, he did. Well, no, I think someone went out on strike and he said that they had to go back to work. I think it was.
Oh, that was a strike. Yes, that's right. That's right.
You don't make a point by punishing your own people, and you don't show strength by shutting down your own government. So the continuing resolution keeps America open. It's responsible governance. That's what should happen. And that could happen tomorrow, tomorrow, Monday. That could happen tomorrow. They could call the House back and get it. But there's some other reasons they don't want to bring the House back to, which is another story, another day. But anyway, so did you have any tidbits on this?
Yeah, I did. You gave me an assignment and I did it during the break, like you told me to, and I can't wait to share I asked the big brain, what are the subsidies for fossil fuel industry compared to the ACA subsidies?
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah, and then the big brain said, first of all, it said that's an excellent question. So I was like, thank you.
To tell you that.
Thank you. I thought it was too. I didn't think about it. I give you credit. I did give you credit. I said, my friend Craig Cooley over at Rainbow Radio. It was his question. So I did give you credit.
Oh.
So it's interesting. So the explicit direct annual subsidies, conservative estimates for the direct annual federal subsidies for oil, gas, and coal production often fall in the range of 20 billion to 35 billion per year. Some recent reports suggest this number has increased due to new legislation. The total subsidies, when including the social costs of climate change and pollution and health impacts, an annual figure for the U.S. can be in the hundreds of billions of dollars. The ACA subsidies, the cost of these enhanced subsidies is substantial. One estimate indicated that permanently extending this expanded subsidies would cost the federal government cost the deficit $350 billion over 10 years, translating to roughly 35 to 49 billion per year, depending on the estimate of whether the interest costs are included. But here's the takeaway. So when comparing the direct annual federal subsidies for the fossil fuel industry to the annual cost of the enhanced ACA premium tax credits, the fossil fuel industry is 20 to 35 billion, and the ACA is 35 to 50 billion. But the takeaway is that the annual spending on the enhanced ACA premium subsidies that Congress is currently debating is comparable in a scale to the direct federal tax. That's not the one I wanted to tell you. It was what they say is that if you include the massive impact of the cost of fossil fuel, like climate change, the fossil fuel industry receives subsidies dwarfing the cost of the ACA subsidies, because these numbers don't factor in,
right.
The damage and everything that of the fossil fuel industry when it comes to climate change. So, big picture, we need to stop paying these fossil fuel companies, because first of all, the profits every year, the profits are insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
That's the good old boy syndrome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's that oil well you own in downtown LA, Eddie.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
what a mess. I'm so glad it's not so glad I don't have to deal with it.
What, do you have anything scheduled this week? We got to get a dive into your theatrical
well, this week I have a callback coming up on a feature film, actually a starring role, which is kind of great, and so I'm doing that on Thursday. Mona Lisa and I, my dog, we had an audition that we put on tape the other day for a dog food commercial, and she was wonderful. I lifted her up into the frame and I introduced her, and she went right to camera and like tilted her head around cue and was like so cute. I was like, oh my God, this dog is killing me right now. She knows every move. And I'm telling a story. You're supposed to tell, like they wanted you to tell a story about your dog and the funniest story you could. And I remember so I picked her up and I introduced her, and she like I said, she looked right to camera. And then I told the story about when she was a puppy and I was trying to potty train her. I put a little hotel bell by the door so she would ring it with her paw when she wanted to go outside, because my cousin did it, and her dog rings the bell and she would let the dog go outside. My dog, she would ring that bell and then she would squat and pee like right there. She would not go outside. I did something wrong, and then at one point she picked the bell up and threw it at me one time, and I was just like, this is dumb. I'm not doing the bell anymore. I'm done with the bell. So that was the story I told. But she, as I'm telling the story in the audition tape, she's looking around, and like whenever I would say something like, and then she threw it at me, Mona would like look right to camera and like her eyes wide open, like she could. It looked like
every word you were saying.
Every word. It was hilarious. She did so good. I was so proud of her.
Maybe you could get a clip of that for your own.
Oh, I do have a clip of it. I should send it to you. It's not going to play well on the radio, but I'll send it to you. You'll enjoy it. She was very good.
That'd be fun.
But that's about it. It's been a little quiet. Things tend to wind down. Actually, November will be pretty busy, and then things will wind down between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then
holidays. Yeah.
Hopefully after January it'll be better. But that's it. I mean, the studio for acting is open and alive and well. I am working with a lot of actors right now who are booking things and working, and that's exciting. And I'm just, doing my thing. It's a great little space up here. I really do. I was looking around the studio the other day, and I was just like, I have such a good time in here working with other people and doing my own auditions and stuff. It's really, really fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, and you got Is your office space combined with your living space, or no?
No, it's a separate space. The studio for acting is at 8228 West 8228 Sunset Boulevard in West Hollywood. I'm right across from the Chateau Marmont. Actually, when you open my window, when you open my window on the third floor of this building,
What a great location.
oh, it's perfect. And all the billboards going down Sunset are the Netflix billboards. And I remember when I moved into this new space that I'm in, I opened up the window and I saw all the billboards for Monsters. And as you know, I was in Monsters
Right. It's
last
an
season.
omen. That was a good omen.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, this is the perfect space for me. I'm absolutely supposed to be in this space because I wasn't sure if I should move or not. And I was like, oh, this is great. Anyway, yeah, so I love my space. It's great. We have a great time, and I'm working with some really talented actors right now, and I'm really enjoying it.
Well, cool. Very cool. I don't have anything earth shattering in my world other than, I'm trying to take care of myself, and that's a full-time job. But aside from that, I have, I do have on this day in history.
Now, Craig, before you go down this road,
Yeah. You want me to be positive?
These need to be positive. We cannot end the show on a negative note.
Okay. Maybe that list of 7 is now 1 or 2. Well, no. On this day today in 1969, a small group meeting in Philadelphia, and a handful of brave souls, Craig Rodwell, Ellen Boldy, Fred Sargent, and Lisa Rhodes, stood up and said, "Let's march." The motion became the first gay pride parade in New York. So that was in 1969.
Oh,
So that's good.
I like
Here
that.
in Laguna Beach, our own parades and art walks echo the same drumbeat. Visibility isn't just an event, it's a promise kept. Okay.
I like that.
And then in 1975, the curtain rises. This on November 3rd, which is tomorrow. Broadway lights glowed brighter when Kennedy's Children by Robert Patrick opened, a gay playwright bringing new life and heartbreak to the American stage. And on the same date, voters in Boulder, Colorado said discrimination had no home in their city. The arts always have been a safe stage, whether it's a drag show in West Hollywood or a gallery opening in Laguna Canyon. Every performance is a declaration. We're here. We belong. See, I've changed the tone.
Oh, you're doing so good, Craig. Don't stop. You're on a roll. You're on a roll. Keep them coming.
The rise and fall and rise again. In 2008, on this day, this is November 4th now, California learned a hard lesson. Prop 8 stripped away marriage equality just months after it was granted. But history had other plans. Yes.
That's right.
Love refused to stay quiet. I protested. Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
I was on the street. I marched me and Mario, we marched for miles.
I love that.
Years later, the courts restored these rights and the rainbow flew higher than ever. Progress may stumble, but it never keeps walking. It always keeps walking.
I have a November 2008 story. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
So my sister and her wife, her now wife, this is crazy. So there was that weird window when people were getting married.
Right.
And on November, I think it was November 3rd or 4th, there was an election on that Tuesday. And it also happened to be the day that they were finalizing the adoption of my niece. So the way it worked, like my sister's then girlfriend, I guess, went down to Guatemala and they adopted a baby girl from there. But in order for her to take the child from the country, she could not be. They wouldn't allow a gay woman to do it. So she had to go down there and get her herself and then bring her back. And then my sister had to adopt her legally as a co-parent, right? So they're at the courthouse. This is election night. Election night in 2008. This is the Obama election, right?
Yeah.
So they go down to the courthouse and they see, after they've done all the legal work for my niece, they see on the books that there's an opening for a union ceremony, like a marriage. There's one place where you could see there was an appointment available to get married. So they filled it out and they went in at 4:45. and they got married like on a whim. They just said, you know what, they didn't think that Prop 8 was going to go through, but but they just wanted to be sure. So they
Yeah, yeah.
got married at 4:45 at the courthouse in San Francisco, and of course Prop 8 goes through. And in the San Francisco Chronicle on the next day, the San Francisco Chronicle, the front page is Obama wins election, and then you open up the thing, and it was my sister and her wife, and holding their new baby as the last gay couple legally married in California.
Oh my God. She made history with no intention.
No intention. It just happened to be the last. So, and they're married today, and it's amazing. They've raised that girl, and she's doing so well. She's going to school at Cal Poly Pomona to be a veterinarian, and she's lovely.
So out and visible, and that changes many things. I don't think we realize being ourselves and being true to ourselves, how far that reaches.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. Well, thanks for sharing that, Eddie. And Edward has a lesbian sister.
I do. It was scandalous. I mean, two out of three of the kids were.
Yeah, we've had that. I'm 2 out of 3 here too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. My older brother's the minority, but we still love him.
Yeah, you don't treat him any different at dinner, do you?
Tell him he can really, if he really wants to change, he can. But
yeah, there's still time.
His wife doesn't appreciate that, but
she doesn't get the humor.
Okay, November 5th, from the State House to the People's House. Let's go back to 1974. Elaine Noble, standing before the people of Massachusetts, became the first openly gay person elected to a state legislature. Excuse me. Fast forward in 2024, when Sarah McBride, a proud transgender woman, took her path as a member of Congress. Excuse me, I need to turn the mic off on that.
My goodness, turn the mic. I turn the mic.
Every ballot, every vote counted, every young trans kid.
My goodness.
What happened?
I know what it is, Craig. You're allergic to good news. That's what it is.
Oh, that's what it is. Thanks for that, Eddie. It all began with someone brave enough to run, and November 6th, breaking the glass ceiling of the Senate. These are all very positive. In 2012,
I know, that's why you're sneezing.
Yeah,
you're allergic to good news.
Quite an allergy. Tammy Baldwin became the first openly lesbian U.S. senator. And just 6 years later, Jared Polis took office as the first openly gay man elected governor. 2 moments, one message. And right here in Southern California, queer leadership happens on the city councils, in classrooms, on canvases, and on air. Oh, okay. And the last one, oh no, we got 2 more. Power of the press. Do we have time? Yeah. Travel back to 1921, Eddie. Now, I don't remember that.
I don't either. Stop looking at me.
Edith D. Eady. Edith D. Eady. E.D.
That's a very unfortunate name.
Yeah. Better known by her pen name, Lisa Ben. That's not much better.
No. Poor thing never had a chance.
Typed out the very first lesbian magazine in America, Vice Versa, and she called it.
I love that name, Vice Versa. Oh, that's so good. That's very clever.
She mimeographed it. Did you ever run a mimeograph machine?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Herself at night in her Los Angeles office. Decades later, in 1978, Californians defeated the Briggs Initiative, which would have banned gays and lesbians from teaching. From the typewriter keys to the radio waves, our voices endure. And the last day of history, which is November 8th, which is Saturday. And finally, in 1977, Harvey Milk is elected to the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, one of the first openly gay men ever to hold public office in America. The same date now honors Intersex Solidarity Day, reminding us that our rainbow is more than 6 colors. It's humanity in full spectrum. And Harvey once said, "Hope will never be silent, and neither should we." From Laguna to Los Angeles, from your living room to the halls of Congress, hope is still speaking. So there you have it, 7 days of courage, creativity, and change.
Oh, Craig, I am so proud of you. You got through the whole thing. I mean, you almost, you almost
I,
you almost went down on some of that good news, but you did really
yeah,
good. You got through it. You sneezed your way through a lot of it, and it
I
turns
don't
out
know what happened.
I think what will happen is the more good news you start sharing, the less you'll have that kind of response. You'll get used to it, so you won't seize up every time you say
Oh
something.
my, choke up. I'd rather be angry. I want to be angry, and I'm entitled to that. That's my entitlement. It's okay.
I have to leave you. I have to leave everyone a little early today. I do have to be at my studio. I have somebody coming in.
Oh well, we only have about 5 minutes left, so I'll excuse you if you need to run, Eddie. I dearly appreciate your presence here. It's always a thrill. It's always fun to have someone here besides myself, for Christ's sake,
someone to slap around,
someone who I can actually converse with. So I love my listeners, and I know they're out there, but I don't always get the message. So
we need to have them call in. We need to start taking calls.
I need to incentivize a call in. You too can win a prize today if you're the second caller. Yeah,
we should get prizes, Craig.
Yeah.
We'll come up with something silly, right?
Yeah, like a $5 gift card from the dollar store.
Yes, you can get 5 things.
Thanks, Eddie. Well,
always a pleasure. I love you.
You can drop in again soon, and you're always welcome.
I'll see you again soon.
Okay, all right. KXFM Radio 104.7. This is Craig in Laguna Beach, and we just have a few minutes left. I just want to say, if you want to see someone on the program or you have a message you'd like to get out there, I'd love to help you with that. And that you can let me know that at craig@rainbow-radio.org or craig@kxfmradio.org. Either one, they're a good way to get a hold of me and share your information and what you would like to maybe see a bit more of or even a bit less of on the 2-hour program. It's a long program, so it's a lot to fill up and a lot of different messages can be given. And don't forget, a week from today, it is, I do have a radio guest, and Stephen Jerome, and we'll have him talk about his new book. And he's a local Lagunaite, and I'm sure we can get a lot of history. I mean, he is an accomplished pianist and composer, and he was also a Hollywood photographer in the late Hollywood Society photographer in the late 80s and 90s. So we should, get some tidbits of information there that make it even juicy. So Juicy Lucy. So so that's my guest next week. And I will send everyone a reminder, an email reminder about that coming up. And what else can I say? It's a beautiful day in the city. It's 63 degrees and the sun is piercing through. And I got to get home because the sun's going to go down this 4:57, I believe. The sun is setting. Anyway, welcome to daylight savings time. I think this is when it's turned off. This is when it's off, and I think anyway, I prefer it the other way. I prefer more sunlight in the evening than in the morning. Those people that get up early to go to work, they can have all the dark. They can. I've done it. It's. I think it's a much better deal. So what do I have? I have a love song coming up next, a classic, and it's going to take us out of the program. I appreciate everyone tuning in today, and we have had a fun row. I have to say, with Eddie. And again, please get a hold of me if you have something you'd like to hear on program. I dearly appreciate it. And have a fabulous day. Carpe diem. And most of all, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it.